Hello everyone, here you are listening to Dr. Vipin Kumar, and today I am going to tell you about the quality aspects in Brassica. And actually this matter has been compiled by Sujit Kumar. He is scientist at ICR DRMR at Bharatpur, and I am very thankful for him because he sent this quality material, and now I am going to explain this. So first of all, I will tell you some introduction about the Brassica. As you know that this is the third most consumed edible oil in the world after soybean and oil palm, and actually this is the most preferred and healthy edible oil. And if we see the content points of the view, it have 20 to 46% of oil content and 25 to 30% is protein content. So definitely this is a very important because it's having huge amount of the oil as well as the protein content. And now if we talk about the major cultivated species, those are grown in India, and that is Brassica ginsea and Brassica rapa, that is the variety Erucic, Brassica rapa variety Toya, Brassica rapa variety brown sorso. So this is the three majorly common sorso or Toria you can see, and Brassica Napus, Brassica carinata, and other is the uric acid type. So actually this is the 7 majorly grown Brassica species. Those are grown here in India. And if we talk about the constitution of the mustard, so actually this is the constituent of 1% is the oil and other is the seed meal. So in oil, actually this is having the fatty acid and conjugates, and third is triglyceride, sterols, phospholipid and wax. And in seed meal, if we talk about that, is having protein, fiber, sugar, phytate and phenol. So these all are the constituent of these two, oil and seed meal. So now we'll start to talk about the physical and chemical properties of mustard oil. So here you are seeing that this is the fresh oil and other is the rancid oil, means bad quality oil that will make off flavor. And if we judge the quality of the oil, so these are some of the value through which we can assess the quality of the mustard Brassica oil. The first is the acid value. What is actually the acid value? It is defined as the weight of potassium hydroxide in milligram needed to neutralize the organic acid present in 1 gram of oil. So it is indicated by the acid value. So I hope you understand what is the acid value. It means that the weight of the potassium hydroxide in milligram that is needed to neutralize the acid, organic acid, those are present in 1 gram of oil. And what it do? It will measure the free fatty acid that are liberated due to high temperature, moisture, lipase enzyme action. And actually the acid value increases during storage. When we store the oil, then acid value will increase. Okay, and that will result in smoking and bad flavor, and that's why sometimes it convert as a rancid oil, that is the bad quality oil. And oil with high PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acid content, will have high acid value, and mustard oil has relatively low acid value, that is 0.2 to 2.5%. Now the other is the iodine value. What is the iodine value? Iodine value means iodine number or iodine index, and that is the amount of iodine in gram that is consumed by 100 gram of oil. And what it do? It will determine the amount of unsaturation. It will determine the unsaturation in fatty acid, and higher the iodine value, then better would be the quality of oil. And mustard oil show the low iodine value compared to the soybean, sunflower and safflower. It means that soybean, sunflower and safflower have the high iodine value, and storage for a long period reduces the iodine value due to the oxidation of double bond. If we will store for longer period, then definitely there will be a reduction in the iodine value due to the oxidation of double bond. There is the peroxide values, and actually this is used to measure the rancidity of the oil. And actually I want to tell you the rancid oil actually is having the odd flavor, unpleasant, and this is happened because of the deterioration in the quality of the fat and oil. So that's why that will be the unpleasant flavor and bad quality. And actually this is expressed as a milliequivalent peroxides per kg of oil, and peroxides are intermediate in auto oxidation reaction, and fresh oil will have a peroxide value of 10 milliequivalent per kg, and when it will cross more than 30 to 40 milliequivalent per kg range, then it is generally associated with the rancid test. So this is the range. If suppose it is crossing above that, so it will show the rancid test. Oil rich in polyunsaturated fatty acid are susceptible to peroxidation. And if we talk about the mustard oil, so mustard oil will have 0.83 milliequivalent per kg and has relatively higher peroxide value as compared to the soybean and olive oil. Okay, so this is the value of the peroxide value in the mustard oil. Now we will move for the saponification value. What is actually the saponification value? First of all, I will want to clarify the saponify. What is the saponify? Saponify means when the acid will react with the base, that will form the soap, and this is known as a saponify. And the value, the amount that is measured as a value, saponification value, it is mean that amount of potassium hydroxide, this is actually the base, required to saponify 1 gram of oil, and the value of that potassium hydroxide that will indicated as a saponification value, and it gives an idea about the mean molecular weight and chain length of fatty acid. I hope you understand. And lower the saponification value, the higher the molecular weight of fatty acid. And high content of uric acid, 40 to 55% in mustard oil, is a region for low saponification value. In mustard oil there is the low saponification value. It means because of the high content of uric acid. And storage of oil increases saponification value due to the oxidation. When we will store the oils, it will increase the saponification value because of the oxidation. Now we will talk about smoke point. What is the smoke point? It is the point referred to the temperature at which an oil starts to burn and smoke. What happens here? You can see the triglycerides. It will convert into glycerol, then fatty acid, and this glycerol will convert into acrolein, and this will give the smoke. And the point at which the flavor and nutritional quality of the oil is gone to degraded because of the high temperature, and the beneficial nutrients and phytochemicals found in the many unrefined oils destroyed when oil is overheated. And high smoke point more than 200 degrees centigrade is preferred for a good cooking oil, and we are fortunate that here the mustard oil is having this value 250 degrees centigrade. It means that this oil is good because it is having more than, this is the critical high smoke point that is preferred for a good cooking oil. And other pungency. What is the pungency? It is actually caused by the breakdown product of the glucosinolate. And allyl isothiocyanate is the organosulfur compound that's found inside that, and actually it is act as a defense mechanism, and that will cause the lacrimator. It means that it will cause the irritation in the eyes, and you will feel the your eyes will got tear, and that property is known as lacrimator property. And it happens when syngrine will, in the presence of myrosinase, that will produce allyl isothiocyanate, and this is the reason behind the pungency. okay, because it is a organosulfur compound. I have already here explained you. Now I will move low saturated fat, and this will have acid like palmitic acid, stearic acid and eicosanoic acid. This will be having like this composition, and that will compose the saturated fatty acid of about 5 to 7%. And if we talk about the oleic acid, that is high, and it is a major monounsaturated fatty acid and compose 20 to 45% up to the 70% sometime, and reduce plasma cholesterol. It will reduce the plasma cholesterol, and it will also reduce the risk of atherosclerosis due to the low density lipoprotein accumulation. So this is the some advantage. And the one of the relationship between the oleic acid and uric acid, you can see here it is having the inverse relationship, because when the oleic acid is increasing, then uric acid will be decrease. Now we'll talk about the high polyunsaturated fatty acid content. Here the two acid, linoleic acid and alpha linolenic acid, that will have like this composition, and this is actually the essential fatty acid. And if you see the linoleic acid, actually this is having two eicosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid. These are two acid in the linoleic, and actually this is the advantage. You can see here that it will protect against the cardiovascular disease and arthritis, and it will help in the brain development and health, and it will reduce the high blood pressure problem, and it will reduce the lower problem of the low cholesterol problem, and it will equate with the omega fatty acid, because you know that the omega fatty acid is very important and found mainly in the fish and these of the item like eggs and some green vegetable. So it is a very equal to the omega 3 fatty acid. And now we will talk about the linoleic acids. Actually excess linoleic, it will interfere with the health benefit of this our linolenic acid, what I have explained earlier, and it will help in the heart disease, arthritis, inflammation and cancer also. And modern diet, what are existing right now, will have the composition of this linolenic and linoleic acid in the ratio of 16:1, but optimally is the 4:1. Unfortunately that we are having that this ratio in this 2:1 in our mustard oil. So this is the somewhat about the linoleic and linoleic acid ratio. Now we will talk about the nutritionally important phytochemical in mustard oil. So this is the oil. It will have the beta-carotene, vitamin E and phytosterol, and seed meals that will have the protein, flavonoids and vitamin C. Later on we will discuss about the beta-carotene. You know the beta-carotene is very important for the vision point of the view, and provitamin is also the provitamin A, and the retinols, vitamin A, and it's very important for the vision points, eyes health point of view. And the lowest value of the beta-carotene are found in uric acid sativa, that is 0.8 microgram per gram, and highest in Brassica carinata, 1.55 microgram per gram. Now we will talk about vitamin E, and actually vitamin E is known as alpha tocopherol, and tocopherols, this is the very important, because this will balance the cholesterol, free fatty acid radical, fight free radicals and prevent the oxidative damages, and it will lower the high blood pressure problems, repair the damaged skin. So you can estimate the importance of the vitamin E. And alpha tocopherols, it will found in the 20 to 90 milligram per 100 grams. So if the low uric acid and low glucosinolate varieties are having this value in the low, so it will have the lower level of vitamin E also. So this is somewhat about the vitamin E. So now I will talk about a source of high quality protein. So I have already explained that beside having a good quality of the oil, it also have a good amount of considerable amount of the protein. You can see here 20 to 35%, and fairly balanced amino acid composition, and high level of sulfur containing amino acids, especially lysine, as compared to the legume. So lysine, you know, is very important essential amino acid, so it will have the high content of that. And now here you can see the protein biological value is high in human, as high as milk protein. So biological value, you are knowing that if suppose you are consuming 100 gram, so the a portion of that 100 gram, if suppose 80% is consumed by the human body, it means that that product is having 80% of the biological value. So I hope you understand what is the biological value. So in that case also, this protein of this mustard oil is having high biological value as compared to the milk protein. So that's why it's having also a very significant role in the protein points of the view also. Now we'll talk about the flavonoids. Flavonoids actually is the anti-allergic, antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal. It will reduce the risk of the atherosclerosis and reduces the arterial blood pressure and prevent inflammation. And if we talk here, the species wise, the lowest Brassica rapa, Erucic will have the lowest, is having lowest flavonoids, and then highest in the case of Erucic sativa, 1160 microgram per gram. Now we'll talk about the vitamin C. Actually, vitamin C is the essential nutrient involved in the repair of the tissues and enzymatic production of a certain neurotransmitter, and it is also function as an antioxidant. And if you see the composition, the content, lowest is found in the Brassica gentiana, 51.67 milligram per 100 gram, and highest in Brassica napus, that is the 100 milligram per 100 gram. So this is the content you can see. And now I will talk about the anti-nutritional factors. So in oil there is the uric acid, in seed meal that is the phytate and glucosinolate. Now I will talk about the uric acid. Here the this is the long chain monounsaturated fatty acid, uric acid, and this is undesirable, and this will cause the lesion in the heart muscles in rate, that is called myocardial liposis, and no negative health effects are documented in the human body till now, and it is up to 55 to 60%. And we will call low uric if suppose it is having less than 2%. So here you can see that uric acid is having the inverse relationship. Suppose uric is increasing, then uric will be decreased, and uric will be low, then uric will be high. So this is the relationship. Now we will talk about the phytate. The phytate is the storage point of the phosphorus, that is having 28% storage form of the phosphorus. And the negativity of this is that it will act as a chelating agent, so it will chelate the multivalent iron especially. That's why it will cause the deficiency of iron. And if we talk about the content wise, so highest in the Brassica carinata, that will have the 3.3% phytate, and lowest in the Brassica gentiana group, that is 1.2%. So I hope you understand how the phytate is negatively affecting the human body. And now we will talk about the glucosinolate. Glucosinolate, I have already explained that it is a sulfur containing secondary metabolites, and this will cause the lactometry, pungency in the human body. And syngrine is the major glucosinolate in the Indian mustard, and that is up to the value of 200 micromoles per gram. And if suppose this is having less than 30 micromole per gram, that is called low. And here this, because of the myrosinase, it will enzyme with this glucosinolate will form the isothiocyanate, and this is isothiocyanate is the region by the pungency that is called the lactometry, and that's why the human's eye will produce tear whenever you will go in contact of that. So this is some low uric and low glucosinolate varieties released in India by the different institutions like TERI India, New Delhi developed this, TERI Uttam Jawahar, and PUU Ludhiana also developed these are the varieties, and Nagpur University developed this variety. You can write down after watching this video here. And IRI New Delhi is having developed more than many varieties like PUFA Mustard 21, 22, 24, 29 and 30. You can write down. And PUU Ludhiana itself is having developed the RLC 1 and 2. And here you can see the double low. These are the double low varieties. Those are come under that, and low uric variety, these are the come under that. So this video you can pause here and write down the name of these varieties. And if we talk about the international quality standards, so saturated fats should be less than 7%, and oleic and content should be high, and monounsaturated fatty acid, polyunsaturated fatty acids should be in the ratio of this 1:1 and 3:1, and polyunsaturated fatty acid and SFA ratio should be in the ratio of 0.8 to 1, and linoleic and linolenic ratio should be in between 5 to 10. Trans fatty acid should be absent. Antioxidant including tocopherols should be present, and uric acid should be less than 2%, and glucosinolates should be the less than 30 micromole per gram. So this is the international standard for a oil quality. So you can write down, and maybe somewhere you will asked that what is the standard quality, so you can reply very nice way if you are knowing this. So I hope this video was very useful to you and you understand what is the quality aspects of the Brassica. And thank you very much for listening me and watching me, and I'm very thankful to you, Sujit Kumar, those who provided this material for explanation. Okay, bye bye.